All right, we're live.
Okay, welcome YouTube, welcome people. We're gonna our English immersion here. We're gonna talk about creativity. Okay, so Bruno, do I need to split in breakout rooms? Okay, okay, guys. Let's start. We already present ourselves, and I'm gonna ask Rogério the second question in the chat box. What is creativity for you? Share your opinion with us, Rogério.
Okay, Vinicius. Well, creativity is something really important nowadays. I mean, actually, many companies they want creative persons working for them. No doubt about it. Because with creativity, you can decrease the costs. You can increase our productivity, and yeah. For example, in my company, I work in a company in a big company, and there, if you have a new idea, a good idea, in order to help them to decrease the costs, to increase productivity, you're gonna be rewarded, no doubts about it. And creativity nowadays is something really important. If you have a good idea, share with the company, because share with your boss, because it's going to help you a lot. And well, basically something like that. If you have creativity nowadays is really important in your careers. Okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And Diego, what do you think? What is creativity for you?
For me, creativity, uh, when I think out of the box and give a good idea to make something, another form, another way, another form, and creativity is when you make something different,
Yes.
because many forms, we can see many forms to do something, but if you make different, or different and different form, mode easy, mode difficult form, and change to easy form.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, today we have many good ideas in the internet, but creates another form, or another product, another idea. It's very difficult, because we can see many new ideas, different ideas, many creativity in internet. When I think in the form, or the product, or to do something, form to do something, it's certainly someone think that the think the equal form in another
Yes,
country, another city.
for sure, for sure. And I think we, each of us have the specific idea about creativity, because we have different opinions and views, for sure. And thank you for sharing your opinion. Okay. We're gonna with Ricardo. What is creativity for you, Ricardo?
I guess it's very interesting what you said about we having different opinions about that subject, because I guess we came from different places in life, right? So
Yes.
that's very nice to see that happening in this room. Like Rogério, for example, he said in a level kind of different from mine, because I see creativity. It's a valid opinion, right? It's not wrong. There is no right and wrong in this case, but I see creativity in a kind of different level. Creativity for me, it's seeing the things inside you needing to be expressed, right? So I guess it's express yourself, your being inside of you in a canalized way, right? In a way that you could find things inside you that you never even thought about these things, right? So I guess you put yourself in a position that could make a better environment to do that, right? So the environment helps your being to be expressed, and your being being expressed, you can gradually be more creative, right? So I guess it's some subjective level inside our heads.
Yes,
more
for sure.
More likely with Diego said, and thinking about outside the box and stuff. I guess outside the box, it's inside their heads, right?
Yes. Well, certainly. For me, creating the topics for meetings, like I've said, it is my first time today. It is a little difficult for me because I don't have so much creativity to create themes and topics yet. I think if I can continue with the immersions, thinking of it, mull over new ideas, I think I will bring more interesting topics for you and for the community, certainly. And Bruna, do you want to share your opinion with us?
Yeah. Of course I want. Come on. So it's interesting what we are saying, because I feel every time we talk about creativity, it seems like, oh, you're so creative. How can you have so many ideas? Like,
yes, for sure.
Something special, like, oh, that person, he has great ideas. So, but I think creativity comes from exposure to things, so you are exposed to a lot of things, content, videos, internet, I don't know, art, culture,
Yes,
all
for
of
sure.
these things we can connect to our daily life, and like try to think from different perspectives. It doesn't mean it's something inedited or like something that was never created before, but maybe different from what we were thinking.
Yes, thank you.
And
Okay, Diego, the third question. Can you read for us and answer, please?
Do you consider yourself a creative person? Why? Yeah, number 3.
Yes, number 2. Can you answer for us? Do you consider yourself a creative person?
I consider myself a creative person when I confront or living in difficult situation. And when my great ideas, I had a great idea when I confront the difficult situation, and when I have a time, no stress. But currently I don't have. It depends the situation, depends the time of your life. It depends, but I don't have time to be a creative person,
Mhm.
but I try. I try in many situations uh, with my children,
Mhm.
with my wife, in my work. It's
It's
but
nice. It's
yes,
nice.
but we need more time, more patience, more situation, a good situation to be in depression. It's very difficult. I think if I suffer depression, I
Mhm.
can't create something.
Mhm. It's nice to know. I think for each of us, it is different, maybe because our less experience or our lives. But it is nice to know your opinion. Uh, Rogério, and you, do you consider yourself a creative person? Why?
Not at all, Vinicius. Not at all. No way. I wish, but I don't. I mean, I know this to be in order to be creativity is so important nowadays, but I don't consider myself as a creativity person at all. For example, give me a task, and I will accomplish it without a shadow of doubt. But I'm not a creativity person at all. I know that it's important nowadays, especially in your professional life. For example, in your job, we need to be creative in order to keep our job. You know, it's important
Mhm.
to create new things. And for example, in my job, the engineers there, they create a robot, man, a robot to take our materials to our manufacturer. It's crazy. They create this kind of thing, and they were very intelligent. And imagine if I had to think something about that. It's impossible. But I don't consider myself as a creative person. It's a shame. I know that I need to change, but sometimes it's so hard to think because I already have a lot of things to think, take care of my family, pay my bills. Oh gosh! But I know that
Yes,
I need to change.
I think creativity can be like a muscle. I don't know. I think if
Okay.
you train it more times in our life, we can create more skills to having creativity in
Oh
some
yeah,
specific situations. Like we are trying to communicate in another language, so we can
yeah.
develop skills to being created in another language too, besides our Portuguese, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And
I agree. I
thank you
agree with you.
for sharing your opinion. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Anyway, Ricardo, do you consider yourself a
I
creative
would say
person?
I would say Rogério is in a way a creative person. I would say he said that if we gave him a task, he would accomplish it. So in a way, you are a creative person, right? Of course, you're not as creative as an artist, maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
in your life, with your difficulties, with your children and stuff, right? Uh, you have a creativity that is enough for you, right? So I guess I complementing the question before that. I guess creativity it somehow has to do with I guess it's in one place only to the from the opposite of creativity is like I don't know, toughness. I guess these two things is in the same place, but of course in different levels, in different.
Yes.
But I guess it's the same thing, but in a scale, right? So I
Mhm.
guess we have levels of it, and we try uh, to take one of those more or less in our day to day life. and bring ourselves the advantages of them, right? So sometimes we have to be more organized in
Yes, for
life,
sure.
right? To take care of our children and
Mm-hmm.
our lessons and stuff. But sometimes we have to think less a little bit and just go forward something, right? Sometimes I'm talking in English with my students in class. This week, for example, my my teachers uh, were absent in a few days of the week, and I have to took place in class. So sometimes my English is
Nice.
go so bad, right? And I was so pressured to speak English very well and stuff. But at the same time, I was thinking in every word I was saying, right? This is very bad. We have to speak in a more fluent way without thinking,
Yes.
even though you sometimes uh, get
It's
mistakes and
like you are judging yourself
yeah,
while you are
yes.
talking. Yes, I know
While
it.
we're talking, it's like every single word you get
It's bad for
a
sure.
pressure from that, right? So you have
Yes.
to think a little bit less and just go forward and do
Yes.
and do that class, and you have to do it. That's
Yeah,
it.
for sure. And Bruna, do you consider yourself a creative person?
Yeah, I think just like Rogério, and I think teachers need to be creative. There's no other option. Like
Yes, yes, for
you
sure.
need to come, like sometimes we are not prepared and we need to come up with something like you, like something really common. You prepared something for the class and then the students did it really quickly and then you have to come up with something, there's no option. You need to create something new.
Create
So
solutions every
yeah,
day.
like I learned from life, from my experience, that
Mm-hmm.
we need to prepare lots of things already. Like here,
Yes,
we need to 10 questions, but be careful, because if like
yes.
the talkers don't talk too much, you need to come up with new questions to create.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you always need to be ready. So I think at least I try to be. It's not always good, but I try.
Yes, thank you.
And
Okay, okay.
I guess I would say that being prepared is not being prepared, right? It's
Yeah.
to be open to the possibilities that of
Yes,
course you have a preparation before that, but in the meantime you're going to be like open and
Def-
unprepared, right?
for
yeah.
sure, for sure. Okay, guys, let's jump to the five question. Okay, Rogério, can you read for us and answer question number 5?
Okay, the next one is going to be number 5. Okay. Do you often ask question about the way things work? Yes, yes. In my case, I used to ask, oh, what the hell? Why did this kind of thing work? I mean, for example, in 1969, we sent the man to the moon. It was
Yes,
crazy, in my opinion. It was crazy because, oh God, it, I mean, I don't have a word to express this because at that time we didn't have the technology that we have nowadays. It was
yes,
crazy, in my opinion. How did they make it? It's crazy
for
because
sure.
the technology at that time was so primitive. It's so crazy
It's
because
like
when you think at that time, 1969, we were able to send a man to the moon. It's crazy, in my opinion. It's crazy. And
yes,
why did they
and
make it?
and
How did they make it?
and yes, for sure. And now these days the technology are going so high. Like we have
Mhm.
the artificial intelligence now, the
Exactly.
ChatGPT and other variants. So I think we're gonna pass through a time when everything will be new, but we already know the possibilities of humankind mind to activity things like going to the moon, create softwares, create robots. Like we can do anything already. For
exactly.
Sure.
For example, 20 years ago, if you said 20 years from now on, we are going to be able to pay our bills using our smartphones, a person would say, "Come on, you got to be kidding! It's crazy. It's impossible."
Yes, for sure. Okay, Diego, do you often ask your questions about the way things work?
Currently, I study to one certification in my career, in my area, and I need be more question about some things in my study, because if I wish to be a specialist, I need to ask when the form to do, or the form function, the technology, because if I have to be a specialist, it's very important to me to improve my career, and it's a good professional.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. Okay, and Bruna, what do you think about yourself?
When I saw the question, I was like, I don't think I do this. I really don't. I think it depends on the subject. Like, for example, technology is not something I am interested in, so I don't ask myself too much about it. But I like to ask myself other things, about other topics. So I think it depends on the subject.
Yes, thank you. And you, Ricardo?
Are we in the question number 5, right?
Yes, number 5, please.
I guess all the time I think about how things work. I'm a very curious person in a good and in a bad sense. Frequently it's in a bad sense because I think too much, and sometimes it's tough, like Rogério said. I guess it's a paradox, right? When we think about technology, because technology came to get our lives better and easier, but at the same times, these tools that we created creatively, we don't need more creativity to do the things that tools do nowadays, right?
Yes, for sure.
So it's a paradox. It's something that take from us the possibility of thinking and be creative. And sometimes I think in ways to not use those tools and try to think from the beginning of the process, from the beginning of the thing, and try to make things more, auto-sufficient, maybe,
Yes.
So you have to learn from the beginning, not just for the end of it, right? Because sometimes you lost important parts of the process, right? I don't know if that answer made sense.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think recently I read a book that says we cannot see a thing and just say I can do it. I don't know how it works. We need to ask how can I do it? Like if you cannot pay for something, you need to think how can I afford it, for sure. Like we can develop our creative like this way, thinking and asking ourselves how things work, what we can learn, what courses, what videos we can watch to improve it for sure. Okay.
Rogério asked how we do things in the past, right? I guess
Yes.
we would do things like we went to the pizza store by ourselves, right? And buy the pizza,
Yes.
not ask for the
Yes,
pizza
for
on the
sure.
telephone, right? So we
Just
have to. It's a little bit.
telephoning.
Yes, it's a little bit harder, but that was life, right?
Yes, for sure. Okay, guys, let's go to the number 7. Okay, Bruna, can you read for us an answer?
Sure. What are some creative ways to improve creativity in children? That's good. I think playing, it seems simple, but playing is a well, maybe Ricardo can tell better than me.
Yes.
But children are no, not so much. But we usually think children need to have lots of things, and we need to have lots of different games, but we can play
Yes.
with simple things, right? So I don't know. There is like role playing. I think it's something that can really develop creativity. So like pretending you are doing something else, you are somewhere else. Use what you have to like pretend you're cooking or that you're going to the mall, that it's a school. I think role playing activities can really improve creativity in children. Books can also do this. I don't know if you guys have already seen that girl, Alice. Her mom is called Morgana Seco. She's on Instagram. She always like says good large words, no long words. Sorry, and she's always like repeating these words. But she's really small and cute, and she doesn't watch any TV. She like they just read books with her, and I think this is really nice. So books can be a good opportunity to improve creativity, show
Yes.
new world for children. So that's
For sure.
what I
For
think.
sure. Rogério, can you answer, please?
Okay, well, I agree with you, Bruna. I mean, in order to motivate our children to be creativity is to let them play, not with the smartphone, no way. Play with the old games, if you know what I
Yes.
mean. For example, the chess. I don't know how can I say dama, dominó, quebra-cabeças in English, but this kind of game is really really good for to help them,
Yes, for sure.
because guys, everybody know that every children nowadays has a smartphone. It's impossible nowadays.
Yes,
It's
it's true.
impossible. I have two. My son and my daughter. They are 13 and she's 11. He's 13, she's 11. They have the smartphone. But and by the way, my wife is completely crazy about it because she used to say, "You were the one responsible for that. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" They are completely addicted on this kind of crap.
It's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
these days because I usually see people raising babies, raising children
hmm
using smartphone, and
exactly,
for me it is
exactly,
difficult to like raise good people with good behavior for sure. I think we
exactly.
need to select a specific age for it, like 13, 14. I think it is the good age to just deliver a
hmm
smartphone and stay safe with them for sure.
I agree with you.
For sure.
Because nowadays we have a busy life. We are so tired because we work a lot, we study,
Yes.
and when our children wants our attention, oh please, go there and go to see some videos on YouTube. please leave me alone. I want to rest. And but for example, my son is the one who are taking advantage of the technology. My son is 13 years old, and he speaks English just like I'm doing with you right now. It's crazy.
It's nice to know.
It's crazy because when I was 13, I barely spoke Portuguese. Okay.
Okay, man. Diego, what do you think about shooting?
Bom, well, we need to offer resources, né? Resources to children. Resources play many plays, many toys to kids evaluate, improve your curiosity and creativity. Okay, but if we offer these resources, these children expend time. Many all the kids, all the children are creativity and curiosity.
Yes,
okay?
For sure.
But unfortunately, many kids, many children expend time in play games all the time, every day, all day. It's very bad. But the kids play with other kids and offer new resources to desenvolve and improve. It's a very good idea. My children, I have two boys, 14 and 12, and it's very difficult to tirá-los, né? Go off, turn off the games to create something. But if when I call they to play games, play domino, cartas,
board games.
Yes, board games. It's very a good time we can expand together.
Yes, for sure. I think we need to take our children to go out to a park, just doing activities, fun activities to improve them, like doing activities, exercise can improve them to live a long life in good in a good environment, for sure.
Yeah. In the weekend, now today in my time when I was children, I on the street play
soccer.
Play soccer, bola de gude. Soltando
For sure. And Ricardo, what do you think?
Firstly, I would say that Bruna has amount of arguments to help us with this discussion. Okay, I'm only on the beginning of my career as a teacher. I'm just an intern right now.
Internship for sure.
Yes, I guess I would help with the discussion as well. And I agree with Bruna. I guess to play is the best way of stimulate children to learn things. As I say in the previous answer, to stimulate to them to think from the beginning of the process and stuff. That's why I guess social games and games that we pick to them with other children with in a general kind of teaching, it's better because they learn about from all those exits. So I guess it's the best way of learn, right? Learn in a social aspect, in a cognitive aspect and stuff. And I guess it's the best way of doing that, right? And in somehow nowadays we have, of course, the cell phones and the games online. It's a road taken, right? But I guess we could balance, because these games also helps children somehow, but there isn't it hasn't to be the only form of play games and play and learn stuff, right? So I guess we have to balance as adults, right? Thinking as a father in the future, maybe as a teacher. I guess that's the best forms of stimulate creativity in children, right?
For sure.
And what about Rogério said about the kid that already speak English very early? In this time of life, when we are kids, our brain are developing at the same time, right? So it's
Connection.
easier for children to speak another language, right?
Yes.
Rogério? That's why that's why that kid is very good in English, and not you, and not very much right now.
Yes.
It's normal, I guess I would say.
Yes, for sure. Some months ago, I've heard a TED talks. The speaker said that her children ask her to travel to some place. So she just say, I'm not gonna pay for a new trip for our family. You two needed to raise the money to go. And so this inspired the children to create new ideas to earn money. So they just sell lemonade juice around the street, and they've raised the money to go to a trip they wanted. So I think we need to putting our children in specific situations for improving to develop the creativity, for sure.
It's kind of give the kids the tools of learning, right? Not just
Yes.
teach them something.
Yes.
It's to teach them how to learn something,
Yes,
right?
for sure.
So I guess that's a good summarizing.
Yes, for sure. Rogério, let's go to the number 9. Does the education system in school affect creativity? What do you think?
Well, I think so. I think nowadays these schools are using this kind of technology in order to teach the children. You know, they have to use it because our world change a lot. My generation changed a lot from this generation, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, they used to have a room with a lot of computers to motivate the students to learn, to be creative. And yeah, it is a good idea to have this kind of thing in schools, because we can't deny it. Today, it's really important to be aware of this kind of technology, because almost everything works by that, you know, and children need to know things like that, you know, in order to be creative, in order to be someone in their lives. Okay.
Yes, for sure. And Bruna, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a difficult question. I was trying to think here, at least about my experience, because even though I am a teacher, most of my experience, most of the experience I had was in language institutes, or so it wasn't in like regular schools. But I think it can affect. I know there are some methodologies at some schools that children can develop their creativity more than in other schools. And I feel when like in our after we advance some years, when we get older, schools usually require other skills from us than creativity, so we need to study a lot, and to we need to prepare for the exams and everything. And creativity, it's not something important anymore. I feel we develop creativity when we are starting, when we are like young, and then when we get older, when we are like teenagers, this is not something we want, because we are like, oh, I don't want to do anything. And
Yes.
and I think the system doesn't influence so much too. So that's it.
Yes.
But I might be saying something wrong, so that's just my
Yes, I think each of one of us had different situation in our lives, so I think we cannot say in general how the things work in a education system, for sure. Okay, and Diego, what do you think?
Actually, we can't deny it. This education system in nowadays, it's very bad, in my opinion, because it's a traditional education. And we need improve much more to help our kids to be a creativity person. Because it's very difficult to talk about this, but I think this, it's my opinion, but our system work this form.
Yes.
Okay, but I think it is.
We need just to accept and try to improve it, for sure.
Yeah.
Ricardo, what do you think?
I guess it's somehow education system. It's very general, so it depends on where you are talking from, right? So if we talking about this public education system, of course we have some problems, and but at the same time we have problems considering the amount of kids that we have to put in school to try to teach them something. And Brazil is gigantic, right? So we have a bunch of kids. If you don't give them a place to study, they're going to be on the streets doing somehow. Even though the education system in this case will be a little bit how I would say that it's a little bit bad for a while, but it's about the put them together and then try to getting better gradually. But in a general way, the education system, I guess the education system in education system has to think about how stimulate creativity in children. That's not a discussion, right? But as we said before, we have to stimulate, not obligate them to be creative, right? So because this wouldn't work. So I guess that's it. Try to stimulate them in different kinds, in different kind of playing, right? So to get them their best their best skills, right? Because they already have some past in their houses and their families and stuff, right?
Yes.
In my school, it's something that is said exhaustively, right?
Mhm.
So we have to use the best talents that children's already have in the past and
Yes.
try to simulate that and on and try to simulate that little points that children have difficulties and try to easy and gradually helping them with that,
Yes.
right?
For sure. Thank you. Diego, we're gonna go into the last question. Can you read and answer for us, please?
Do you think creativity comes with time and or you are born with that? I think the creativity comes with time when we have resources, when we resources in general, food,
Mhm.
home, family, because it's very difficult to children to be a person, creativity person, in situation de war or fight family
Yes.
and hungry. It's very difficult. It's very difficult.
Mhm.
But with but the time it's very important and situation around.
Yes, the environments for sure. Okay, Bruna, what do you think?
Yes, I really liked what Diego said about the environment. I think the environment can really influence the way we're going to deal with things. But
Mhm.
I think it comes with time and with the environment. I don't think we are born with that. I think we can be born with curiosity, just like Ricardo was saying. I think
Yes.
we can be born curious and interested in
Mhm.
the things. I think when we are interested in the area or in the subject, we get more curious, and we like this can help us.
Yes,
Like
for
I
sure.
think in general it's with time and the environment.
Yes, for sure. Rogério, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it really depends if you have a solid family, if you have the structure to be raised in a good environment.
Mhm.
Maybe this person is gonna be creative or no, or this person is gonna be a lazy person, without the creativity at all, because this person has already everything in their life, they don't need to think so much in the things. For example, Steve Jobs. I don't know if you guys heard about the story about Steve Jobs, but he was adopted. Life for him was difficult, but when the adopt parents sent him to the university,
Mhm.
he didn't like it there. He thought, "What the hell I'm doing here because I don't like it." And then eventually he created this amazing company, Apple,
Yes.
and it's dominated the entire market. Yeah, I think it really depends. I think it's person from person. Okay.
Yes, for sure. Each experience. Anyway, Ricardo, what do you think?
I guess
Steve Jobs was adopted when was a baby.
Mhm. For different family. Yes,
Yes,
for sure.
but has a good family in the house and the foods and
Mhm.
good studies, good schools to study.
Yes, that's for
yes,
sure, for sure.
I would say the same. The Diego said, because we have to take care sometimes to the exceptions, right? Because Steve Jobs somehow is an exception, and as Diego said, it's somehow he has some opportunities to do what he accomplished. But we trying to say here that simulation is important, right? To increase the chances that that children would be more creative, right? Because it's not a perfect science, right? So we have to simulate the characters and the skills and of children, and their goal by themselves, right? We're not going to put them in a place. They're going to put themselves into a place with our previous simulation, previous environment, right? As Diego said, right? So if a kid have a good environment, a base, right, with a family, with money and stuff, these children will be more hopeful to get success in life, I guess.
Yes.
So I would say I agree with Diego in general and number, right?
Yes. I think for me, creativity, I think if we in our lives we can be challenged by our problems, our life problems, I think we can develop this kind of skill. Yeah, I think creativity. I think you can be born with that, or you can be, but you can develop it for sure. Like every skill that you wanted to achieve to improve. Like in English, we are doing our English skill improve, trying to talk more and more and more. So I think we can do putting ourselves in challenge, like I'm doing with myself right now, being a Trinity host. For sure.
We have been very creative today, right? We have been very creative speaking English. So we have speaking another language. It's very difficult to some persons that has English as a second language, right? So we're being very creative here. So congratulations for us, right?
Thank you. Okay, guys, we are gonna ending. Thank you for the patience, for your time. I'm sorry for something that I said wrong. I don't know how to manage a meeting. I will be learning more with Bruna and the other host. So thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in the next time. Okay. Thank you, Diego. Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank you.
And Bruna. And Roger, I think he lived. Okay.
Thank you.
I see you next time. Bye bye, guys.
You did great, Vinicius. Congratulations.
Bye. See you. Bye bye.